Well, we already got 4 people in here. Heck yeah. Oh, let's see here. We got Ultimate Acres in here. Tuned in today. Greetings, everyone. Rosemary Berry, good morning. Uh, Said happy Monday, everyone. And they've got Elizabeth Rojas in here. Said hi. What's up? Oh my gosh, guys. What do y'all want to talk about this morning? I just woke up not too long ago. I had a pretty late night. I was up pretty late. Um, Trying to figure everything out, and I don't know. This is the beginning of build week, so this weekend is when we're going to be building. I'm going to be heading out to Ed's on Thursday, trying to get things set up, ready for the whole crew to show up. I have no idea how many people are showing up. I can't even figure it out. I think the last count that Ed was saying was something like 13 channels coming out so far. Um, that's pretty amazing that we're getting that many people coming out to help build Ed's cabin and do various other projects. I don't know what everybody's got planned. There apparently seems to be a lot of secrets that are even being kept from me, so I guess I can't talk about it on here and let the cat out of the bag or whatever. But the biggest trouble is I don't know if we got enough lumber to build it to the exact specs of this right here. I don't know if you guys seen on the thumbnail, but that's the new logo for my organization. As you can see, we got a copyright intent on that. Okay, so nobody can steal that from me. I actually had this made for me. And if you guys want a logo or something made, I suggest you go over to Critter Creek and shoot him an email or something and see if he can work out a deal with you on some kind of logo or something. He knows a lot about getting merch and stuff set up and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, he didn't help me set up my merch. I use Bonfire. That's just what I've used for many years. And apparently with Bonfire, you got to have 10,000 subscribers in order to have that merch shelf down below your videos. So I may be moving my stuff in the near future to Teespring whenever I get time, which I don't see myself having time to mess with merch for at least a month. I'm already kind of planned out for pretty much a month right now. And I've got a lot of stuff coming for the bus. That's going to be really awesome to get the solar and everything. I actually got a package coming today. It is the 2,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. It's the same inverter that Des the Hobo Travel Nurse has in her bus. And while we were there, I was able to use a sander plugged into that thing, and so it'll run simple tools like a sander. I don't know if it'll run like a circular saw. It might, but if it doesn't, I got a generator. So I'm pretty much planning on the inverter just running like my laptop and just some really small appliances and stuff. I don't want it running all the time because the inverter will put a drain on the batteries. I've got two 200 amp hour lithium batteries coming, and we're starting off with, it's a 600 watt rich solar system. It's a 600 watt solar panel system. It's 3 solar panels from Rich Solar. There's Rebecca Davis. Hey, Crazy Ed, what's up? He said, good morning. Hey, Ed, can you get me a count on the 2x6s? I don't really need a count on the siding or anything like that. I just need a count on the 2x6s. Yeah, I'd like to have a count so I have a good idea what we've got. I mean, I could go back at my videos and I could look and count, but that's a lot of work to do that. If you could just give me a quick count on how many 2x6s we got. I was sitting here looking through this right here, this is the blueprints I got from Critter Creek. Let's see if I can get this open. I got it all stapled together. So I've got a copy of this printed out for you, Ed, also for you to keep, and then one for me to work off of. So that's the color drawing right there. And then this right here is like the floor plan right here. This is the 16 by 16 right here, and then a 16 by 8 front porch right here. So I counted all this up, and not counting the seal plates on the bottom of the walls, I counted the double headers as needing 2x6s for each wall for the double headers right there. Actually 4, and I think I came up with a count of 85 2x6s, and I'm pretty sure we only have 40 some odd 2x6s there. So we're going to be short. We may end up having to change it if we can't get the 2x6s, which I'm hoping we can. But we have two choices. We can either not build the porch on it at first, if we can't get the 2x6s, or we can switch it from an 18-inch center to a 24-inch center, which would still be perfectly fine for a small cabin that size. It's only a 16 by 16. That's pretty small. And 2x6s are really, honestly, a little bit overbuilt. It will easily hold a snow load up for the next 100 years with oak beams like that, or oak 2x6s. But I'm thinking like 85. I think he has somewhere in here he has the count or whatever, but I didn't really fully understand it. Here is the floor plan right there. Shows kind of your side walls and everything, the bathroom, all that good stuff. And it's probably backwards because I'm using the rear facing camera. Let's see here. And this is I guess this is the deck. And materials, I know it looks backwards in my screen there. I don't know if you guys can read that properly, but there it is. Nobody has emailed me yet on what they're bringing for sure or anything. The only person I'm pretty well sure I know who's coming out is Our Cabin in the Woods. Altruistic Farmstead, I've heard that there could possibly be an issue with them getting out there. I'm hoping they can make it. Just the ice storms and stuff has kind of thrown a wrench in their plans a little bit, but I'm really hoping they can still make it out. Hey, good morning, Foreskins. Crazy Ed says, sure. Thank you, Ed. You don't have to do it right away, but you know, if you could get me a count today, that'd be awesome. Because I need to get a hold of somebody else and give them an idea of what we still need yet. And that person may pick it up on the way or something. So I'm just, honestly, we're living on a prayer on this here, and we're just trusting that it's going to come together. We got to have faith, guys. Got to have faith, the faith. Yeah. 8-foot wall. Yeah, it's 8 foot inside on the walls. Yeah, I really haven't had much time to really sit down and study the blueprints. Unfortunately, there's not an actual cut list. You know, how to cut everything. You just have to look at it and say, okay, this is 16 foot. It's going to take, you know, 2 8-foot long pieces to do 16, right? Then you got to subtract the 3.5, or actually the 5.5 inches for each wall. So that's what, 11 inches that you got to subtract off of that and cut everything accordingly. Ed said we don't have to put a porch on it. I can do that sometime down the line. Exactly. I mean, the thing is like, we've just got to get a building that is dried in. If we can get insulation, that'd be super awesome. We don't have to have insulation because, you know, it's just a cabin. And he's probably going to in the future be building another cabin. at another location. He might build multiple cabins out there so he can do some Airbnb, leasing or renting those out or whatever, to have a little bit more income. The possibilities are endless. Um, and out there, it's even possible that he might be able to lease it for hunters to come out and stay in a cabin during hunting season or something like that. Talked to him a bit last night, like forever. We were on the phone last night, talking about stuff and kind of throwing some ideas out there and everything. So lots of things to be coming on the Crazy Ed's homestead. Myers kids, good morning, Dave. Hope you have a wonderful day. I hope I do too, and I hope you do. Cindy Brown, hey, never lose faith. God will find a way to make it happen. Yeah, I think there's enough lumber there right now to just build pretty much the cabin itself. I've got to get some more 2x6s for sure. If we have to, we can actually probably go buy 40 some odd, I think it's 48 2x4s to put in the walls for studs instead of using 2x6s in the walls. And I think Ed said that was like $400 and some odd to get the 2x4s. Now don't quote me on that because I could be, I could have misunderstood what he said, but yeah. So it's going to happen. We got people bringing air nailers. I'm going to be bringing a 30-gallon Cobalt air compressor generator to run that. We will need some gas cans and gas and stuff because I don't think I'm going to be able to afford more than probably like 1 or 2 5-gallon jugs of gas. And I don't know exactly how long that generator will run on a full tank. And I don't know how big a tank it is. I've not had to fill it just yet. It needs to be filled now. It's pretty well empty. But I do have a 5-gallon jug. I've got this yellow diesel jug. I don't know, well, you can see the reflection of it back there. You can't see the jug, but the diesel jug is empty. I've emptied it out here in the bus in the diesel heater. And so I'll be putting gas in that. I know you ain't supposed to. Big deal. Just don't think it's diesel and put it in a tractor or something. That'd be bad. Let's see. Over 7 hours on the phone. See, and he was keeping track of it. I wasn't. Hey, there's Dave. Come on, homesteading. Come on with the come on. What's up, man? Got Cindy Brown, Heather Hopper. I'm already getting behind it. Nope, there's the bottom. Dave saying hello to Heather Hopper. Yeah, and there might be some really cool stuff coming up in the future. I haven't had a chance to talk to Dave from Come On Homestead yet. But he's got some stuff that's going to be happening out there. And maybe I can come out there and do a little bit of helping out there at some point. We just got to talk about that. I have been talking to Mama V, so I will be coming out there directly after building Ed's cabin. I'm going to be out there, I guess, by myself, doing some milling and stuff. I don't know if we can get some other people to come out and help. You're going to have to talk to Mama V about that. That is not up to me to invite whoever to her property. That is 100% up to her. So, if you guys are able to come out and you've met her before or something, then contact her, email her or whatever, send her a message on Instagram or something. Get a hold of her and say, hey, I'd like to come out and help Dave with the sawmilling or something like that. Let's see. It would be nice to have someone out there. I don't know if Paul the Bearded Carpenter's going to be out there. I know she's working on getting a tractor out there because I'm not going to be bringing the log arch trailer. I'm just bringing the sawmill and a tent, a cot, a heater. My basic survival needs and everything, stuff I'm going to need to live there in a tent and run the sawmill. You guys are going to see me out there felling trees, cutting them to length, getting them on the mill, and milling up all the lumber I can possibly mill for them to build her cabin, which I believe is a 20 by 20 lofted I guess it's going to have a loft in half of it, and it's going to have a porch on two sides of it. From what I could see in the blueprint, I just briefly seen it. I actually need to see if I can get a hold of those blueprints so I can look over them a little better and see what all we need, the lengths and everything. But yeah, I'm going to be out there, and hopefully we can get a little get together at some point to do like a barn raising or something out there. I'm still trying to raise money to help me with the fuel cost and everything of getting down there. I just spent 200 and I think it's 250 bucks or so for some brand new sawmill blades. They're on the way to get here now. That came out of my tax return, my own, getting in my own money and everything there. Kind of taken away from the bus build, but if you guys want to donate and help out with these costs and everything and going down there to help her out, you guys are more than welcome to. I got my PayPal and everything listed down below. You don't have to donate a whole bunch or anything, but every little bit definitely helps. And you guys are who makes this stuff possible. Let's see here. The Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. Morning. What's up, guys? Ed Milling sounds great. Who said Ed Milling? Ed's not milling. I'm not taking the sawmill to Ed's. I'm milling up all this lumber here from my property. As you can see, I've got some more lumber on the trailer back there in the background. But I can't get a log on the mill right now because my yard is so muddy. So it's coming down to the wire, and I've got a couple of logs to throw on there yet and get them milled, get some more 2x6s and some more siding done. Because I don't think we have quite enough siding just yet to complete the whole thing. I figured it up the other day, and I still can't remember that number, how many boards it takes. I can't do the math. 16 foot, so 16 times 2, what is that? 32 or 16 is 12, 32, right? I think it's 32. I can't do math in my head. But yeah, 16 foot, and it's going to take 2 boards because they're only 6 inches wide, so 2 boards per foot. That should be, 16 times 2 should be 32 boards per wall on the outside. See, I didn't even graduate, guys. Didn't even graduate, and I can do math on camera. We got Myers Kids in here. Myers Kids, have you put any videos out yet? I haven't got any notifications for videos. I'm waiting to see you put some videos out there with that GoPro. Crazy Ed said, I won't be doing much. It seems like I'll just be moving stuff around. Ed, what the hell, man? Really? No, you're going to be working. You get to do whatever you're going to do. You're going to be doing a live, for one. There's going to be so many people out there. Only so many people can actually be working on the build. You got stuff that needs to be moved. I don't care like what you do. I'm not telling you what to do. You definitely need to be shooting video, because people don't need to be watching this from my channel. I don't want to be taken away from your channel. I ain't gonna have any negative stuff on here, Ed. Got a raindrop in here. My raindrop live. Let's see, 32 for 128 boards, minus doors and windows. Yeah, I think somebody might be bringing a door, and somebody is supposed to be bringing some windows, but we ain't heard from them in a bit, so I'm really hoping they bring the windows. If not, we may have to go find a Habitat for Humanity and see if we can find some windows around there. Let's see. Come on, said it. If you are bringing a mill, I will pay your gas to come and do some milling at the property and teach me some stuff. I'm getting a tractor this week. Whoa, shoot, dang, man, you're getting a tractor? Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I will be coming down in that area to Mama V's with the mill. I'm going to be there for a bit, milling up everything for her. And that'd be super awesome to come over to your place and do some milling. But the thing is, like, I'm gonna be running low on funds for like living, like food and stuff like that. I just dropped a whole bunch of money on this bus right here, and like nobody is paying me to do any of this stuff. So I think we could probably work something out. I don't need a whole lot or nothing. Let's see. Myers Kids, I have not got footage. Not comfortable yet, but I'm always here to support. I know what that's like, not being comfortable. My first video that I put out was literally, I'm sitting there running I can't even say the words because they'll demonetize this video, but it's a pew pew press, you know. And I had my son standing over my shoulder with an iPhone. This was like, I want to say 13 years ago. That was my first video I put out there. I'm sitting there running this press, just getting it. And that video's still on my channel. It's now monetized, but I can't talk about it on lives because they limit my monetization on there if I do. But that was my first video. You don't even see my face. I didn't talk or anything. I've come a long ways. I mean, when I first started doing YouTube, I didn't even know how to piece 2 video clips together. This is something I was actually talking to Ed last night, you know, talking about, you know, he's got a long ways to go. I still got a long ways to go on editing. I don't know everything. But, you know, I sit down with Anthony over at Country Road Cure when I was out there at the 41.36, and he spent several hours with me editing a video for me and giving me some tips and everything, like how to, you know, time your video and your music. And, you know, I already kind of have an idea how to kind of get the right music with a clip. You know, a lot of people do, a lot of people don't. And you don't just throw music over something. You've got to make it kind of come together. And so I'm hoping in the afternoons or something, I can sit down with Ed with my laptop and get some of his footage, maybe some of my footage. We'll piece something together, do a little editing. Another thing is we've got to get his Filmora 9 back on his laptop. He needs to get that updated or something, talking about, you know, maybe going into town, getting hooked up to Wi-Fi or something and get that on his laptop so he can start editing from his laptop instead of his phone. I know what it's like to edit straight from your phone. I've got Filmora Go on my phone, and sometimes I use that, but it's really hard to time, you know, the beat of the music with the video, that sort of thing. If you don't do that, it feels off, and the viewer may not know exactly what it is, but they're going to notice that it's off, and it's just not that nice to look at or to watch or whatever. So trying to, you know, see if I can maybe throw a few tips his way, and then he can kind of put his own spin on that, the same as I did. I don't try to mock everything like what Country Road Cure does with their intros and stuff, but being able to kind of, you know, learn how to do those little cinematic shots and stuff and piece that together and make something, you know, appealing to kind of help capture the viewer right there from the get-go. I mean, that's a key thing. You got about 10 seconds to capture that viewer's attention, to make them stay on there for the next couple of minutes. And the whole way through that video, what you're trying to do is keep them on there as long as you can, keep them interested, keep them entertained. And that's really hard to do. That is a struggle and a challenge for all of us. But, you know, I've had to tell him straight up, like, man, I hate to say this to you or anything, but I'm not trying to sugarcoat it or anything, but some of your videos are hard to watch. And if I know you've got something going on here, and you can definitely build on it. You know, I said you can put some fake stuff out there. You can you can do like another big channel we know, you know, and put those clickbait videos out there. You can pay your neighbor or something to put some camouflage on or something and carry a weapon across your property, and you got a game camera up there that takes pictures of him, and you can put videos out there saying that, you know, I got a trespasser, I caught a trespasser on my property or whatever. But you know what? After a few videos of that right there, you're going to start losing subs. You don't want to be fake like that. You don't want to put BS out there like that, because when I was watching that other channel that does that all the time, I stopped watching pretty quick. you know, and that's one thing I like about Ed's channel is he is for real. Like he is just putting out there like what is happening or whatever. Um, and it, you know, there's some quality to that, but it would be, I think it'd be nice if I can work with him a little bit, kind of give him some of my tips. And if a few other channels that are coming out, if you guys can maybe help out a little bit too, give him some ideas or whatever, and maybe Ed can jot this stuff down on a piece of paper to remember it, maybe some projects or whatever in the future. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we were talking about last night. Is like some projects and stuff that he could do to help bring in more viewers and help you know, set that hook with those people and get them to subscribe. I know he gets quite a few views, but they're not all subscribed, and that's something we all struggle with. Let's see here. I'm gonna get caught up here. Add material to compensate for overlap. We're not overlapping the siding. I do have to get more of the battens. It's board and batten is what we're doing on it. So we gotta definitely gotta have some batten material. I've already got some hauled out there. We're not doing lap siding though. Myers Kids, come on, can't wait for the videos. Come on, Mountain. Heck yeah. There's Cindy Brown. 41.36 mil, and let them borrow the tractor. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility, but you know, hauling logs ain't too easy. I mean, you got to pick them up and load them and all that stuff, and very time consuming. And the other thing is their mill's not very long. My mill, I can mill up to 27 foot 6 inches long total. So if you need a big long beam, my mill's perfect for that. That's why I built it 30 feet long. And their mill's not even set up out there at the 41.36 right now. Crazy Ed said, I'm going to be moving stuff from the bottom property up to top property. All right, Ed. Just, I hope you don't get stuck, man. But we'll be out there probably Thursday, so if you get stuck, just sit tight. You're going to be missing work is the problem if you get stuck. All right, Dave, awesome. He said, I got you. You won't be hungry. Come on. I seen that Fired Up Friday video. That's some good looking food, but I can't have no spicy stuff or anything. My stomach can't do it. I'm still recovering from that awesome food from the 41.36. Black pepper, I love black pepper, but I can't have any of it anymore. Black pepper just, it makes my stomach acid go through the roof. That really sucks because I love putting black pepper in my bacon gravy when I make biscuits and gravy in the morning. And I just put salt and pepper in there and use my bacon grease to make that. Really good. My whole family loves it. They said, man, Dad, you need to make a restaurant that all you do is serve breakfast all day long. And it's like, that sounds good and all, but I don't want to be married to a restaurant. That's not my dream. Elizabeth, Ed, I sent you an ad where they had free windows and doors. Dang, Ed, you need to check that out. Free windows and doors. I'm not being negative, David. Just got a lot of stuff to move from one property to the next, and that's what I'm going to stay organized. Okay, that's cool. You're gonna have lots of projects to do with like the rain catchment. You know, we're gonna be trying to pull the well, get that pump out of there for you while I have my log arch trailer there. I've got this little handy dandy tool right here that I got. We're gonna see if I can grab a hold of the wires down in the well with that. And I've got my climbing rope right here. Where'd it go? Oh, all my climbing stuff and everything here, or some of it anyway. But I think this big old climbing rope right here should be able to pull that well if we can get a hold of it. The idea is that I put this right here on the end of that rope, and you drop this down the well, and this thing basically can latch on to something like that. Hopefully I can get a hold of something and get that well pulled up out of it for you. It's going to be Fishing for a well pump. I think I'll name the video that. Come on, said I got a long ways to go. Also, it's a never-ending learning process. Definitely. I mean, even like people like Jason Crocker, you know, you can see it in a lot of his videos when he puts those really awesome videos out there where you can tell he put a lot of effort into it, the cinematic shots and everything. And I'm I've noticed that, you know, from where he started out, as he progresses and he does those like a movie type thing, you know, he changes it up and maybe learns something a little new. Maybe he already knows it, but he ups his game each time that he does one of those really awesome videos. And so I learn from watching him also. uh, I don't go and sit there and watch videos on how to do cinematography or anything like that. I probably should, um, but unfortunately I just don't have the time really to sit down and watch that much stuff. I try to watch as many channels as I can that actually support my channel and everything. And at the same time, I do a lot of research. Like this last week, I've had to do a ton of research on solar, trying to find the cheapest batteries I could. Zoom's batteries, that's the batteries that Greenhorn One Acre used in his cargo trailer build for his solar. And then I found a really good deal on just a solar kit that's actually from Rich Solar. They use the same charge controller and everything. It's just a rebranded charge controller. But the lugs on the Rich brand charge controller is a little bit heavier duty than the Renogy. So that's, I mean, little things like that you learn in doing hours and hours of research. But I don't think a lot of people understand. I usually only sleep about 4 hours a night because I'm up all hours of the night sitting there watching my phone, doing research on stuff, just always learning. It's a 20 hour a day type of deal. Just work. It's not always just out here on the mill working or something like that. It's either editing or doing research and just all kinds of stuff, or listening to copyright free music or whatever that I can put on my channel. Always trying to find some new music or something to download that I can maybe use later or something like that. It's a continuous process, and you probably don't really know what it's like until you're actually a YouTuber, and then you get it. Let's see here. All right, guys, looks like you all have a good plan and plenty to keep your time filled. Good to see. Have a great day, guys. Here for y'all. Blessings. Thank you, Gypsy and the Gorilla, or Vanilla Gorilla, whatever. I can't even talk today. Let's see. If anybody goes out to Come On Homestead, will never go hungry. That man can cook. Yeah. I can cook a little too. I'm going to have my little pit boss. And the reason I got that thing is because when I was at the 41.36 for the 4th of July, he was over there. He had a griddle that he was cooking on. Man, he was getting it. I mean, he was cooking for a bunch of people. And I had a little one burner, and I'm sitting there cooking bacon like super slow on a one burner in a iron skillet. I was like, yeah, I can't cook that fast. So I ended up getting a little griddle. It's a Pit Boss griddle. It's like 18.5 inches wide or something like that. And I'll be using that in the bus instead of getting a stove for the bus. And I'm going to have to get some like little cam locks or something to be able to lock it down to the top of the counter. I'll build just a special little counter for it, and that way I can unlock it and take it outside and cook with it outside in the summertime. Hey, there's Danielle Youngworth. What's up? Said gotta keep it truthful. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I was talking about. It's like we can do some BS, we can put some crap out there, and it'll work. It'll bring in the views and everything, but I ain't so sure it's going to help you out on your subscribers, the good subscribers, the ones you want, the people that actually give a crap about you as a person and everything. Um, I try not to put BS out there. I do cut a lot of stuff out in my videos. I cut the dead air out and stuff like that. Um, you know, I don't try to make it something that it's not. But at the same time, you know, if I'm sitting there editing a video and let's say for instance I'm sitting there moving some lumber or something, and then I'm sitting there BSing with somebody there next to me and it's just like a person to person conversation, I generally cut that out, and that way you guys only kind of see us getting it, you know, like moving this lumber or sawmilling or whatever. So you guys see the action. That kind of holds on to a viewer's interest. Um, if you're just sitting there talking and they can't hear what you're saying, they can hear you that you're talking, but they can't tell what you're saying. It's really hard to put that out there because people will lose interest. I mean, that's probably one of the hardest things with YouTube is trying to hang on to that viewer as long as you possibly can, and still tell that story. That's the other thing that I'm trying to say is, you know, you got to try and tell a story with that camera. If you can tell a story with that camera and not even speak any words, then you're ahead of the game right there, because people enjoy that. They may not even know what it's called or anything like that, but they, you know, they enjoy it. For real, come on. Algol 60, any free offcuts you want to get rid of? I got all kinds of free offcuts here if you want to come load it up. But I got to be here, all right? You don't show up on this property without me here. You got to get a hold of me, email me, call me, whatever. If you look up Hood's Custom Woodworking or Hood's Custom Shop or Hood's Custom Sawmilling on Google, my phone number and all that stuff is in there. Yeah, my phone number's out there. It's a business and it's public, and I ain't worried because the first time somebody prank calls me, I can just block you just like that. Let's see. Come on, say, gotta get back to work. Shoot me an email. I'll give you my number. Awesome. I'll get a hold of you. Who's, do you know how far down the pipe is busted in Ed's? Well, it's about 12 foot maybe. We shined a light down in there one night and you can see the electrical wire down there. It's 8 to 12 foot maybe down that pipe. You can see the PVC pipe right there, the electrical wire and everything right there. So if we can shine a light down in there, we can actually see to try to get hooked onto that thing. I may have to see if I can make like a slip knot or something, maybe a Prusik knot, which I had one out here the other day, but I think I put it back up in the shop. You guys will see it in the video what a Prusik knot is. Let's see here. Black Man RVing. How much does it cost for you to convert your bus? Because I have a 34-foot shuttle bus I'm trying to convert. Man, that really depends, like how thrifty you are, how much you can do yourself and where you can source things from. I mean, this clawfoot bathtub right here, that right there alone, before it was painted or anything like that, was, I think it was $350 for that, which was a steal. But there's people wanting $1,000 for a clawfoot tub like that. It's a 4.5 foot, which is very rare. Most of them are the 60-inch ones, which I guess is 5 foot. Then, you know, like the faucet, there's a couple $100 or so right there for the faucet to put on that thing with the little shower thing. Insulation and flooring, I've got almost $4,000 in just the flooring and insulation, and that's just for 30 foot and 7 foot 6 wide, I think, or something like that. I think it's 7.5 foot wide. If you have to buy all of your lumber, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. If you're using oak or something, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get that cheap particle board where half of it's particle board and the front face of the cabinets are some kind of oak or something. You can get a cabinet or something like that for a few $100 or whatever if you can find exactly what you want. But right now, with the solar and everything, I've got about $14,000 in this bus right now, and that's counting the stuff that I just ordered. My two batteries for my solar, the solar kit. Man, what else did I get? Um, Shoot, I got a curtain track to put up the privacy curtain over the front window. That was a pretty cheap thing. Um, I still need to get a wood burning stove, which I think I'm getting one from Adam, Like a Bully Homestead, that he's going to donate to me. I actually had went out and helped him out, and basically he just, back then he paid me for the gas and stuff to get out there and back, and I went out there and done a lot of milling for him to give him some lumber to be able to build with, because at the time lumber prices were crazy through the roof. I mean, they're still expensive, but they've actually come down some. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at probably, I'm thinking I've spent about 15 grand so far on this bus, with the flooring, subflooring, a couple of tools. I had to buy a $350 what do you call it, I want to say planer, but I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Let me drink some coffee. Still didn't think of it. Man, the thing you run your board through so that you can glue them together. I can't think of the name of it right now for some strange reason. It's getting a little warm in here. I'm probably gonna have to turn that heater off. But anyways, I had to buy one of those. It's just a little Craftsman. I'm thinking I will think of the name of that tool here pretty quick. But it's like a planer, a jointer. There you go, a 6-inch jointer from Craftsman, from Lowe's. $350 plus tax for that. And that was so I could take some of the oak lumber that I milled up a few years ago. It's been air drying for several years, and so I was able to glue up panels then to help build the cabinetry in here. I'm still, I'm behind on all that and everything. It's just, finding time to do all the stuff I'm trying to do right now. And, there's a lot of stuff like coming up here real quick. So for the next month and a half or something, I'm probably going to be super busy. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. You guys are definitely going to want to make sure you stay tuned to catch all the lives and everything, all the videos that's going to be coming out. And definitely make sure that you're subscribed to Come On Homestead, Crazy Ed's Homestead, Possum Run Homestead, Simple Life Reclaim, Country Road Cure, let's see, Bobblehead Homestead, Dutch Creek Cabin. Yeah, I don't know how many other channels are going to be out there. MT Homestead probably is going to be there in some of these videos. So you guys go stay tuned to those channels, because you're going to see a lot of really awesome content coming together here pretty quick. I can't tell you all the stuff. There's a lot of things that are being kept secret right now, because I mean, we honestly don't know how this is going to work out, because I've got a short period of time to do a lot of milling and just a lot of crazy things coming together. I mean, it's starting off with, we're building a cabin for Ed in like 3 days. So that's going to be the 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm going out there a few days early on Thursday. Going to be hauling some lumber down there and tools and all kinds of stuff. Then after that, I think I'm going to be coming back here for a day or so. And then I'm heading down to Possum Run Homestead with the mill, and just going to be hitting it. You guys are going to see some really awesome content out there. Putting that together, it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Ed retracted his message. What did you say, Ed? I know my editing sucks, but I do the best I can. I know I need to do better, and one day I will, as soon as I can find a good editing software. Yeah. That Fieldmore 9, it's a good editing software. Ed said he's having trouble with that software, like corrupting the videos and stuff, so hopefully we can work through that, get that figured out, whatever it is. I want to show him like how I do my, not necessarily exactly how I do my editing, but like kind of the process. I do my editing, and then I export back to my SD card. I take that SD card out of the laptop, I put it in my phone, and I upload it from my phone. Another thing is like the format that you're that you're putting that in. I think it's like an MP4 or something. That's what I found works best. Um, so I'm going to try to work with him on some of that stuff. And, hey, when we, all of us pretty much, I don't know of any YouTuber out there that started off and was just like excellent with it. Uh, I mean, maybe Jason Crocker was pretty darn good at it when he first started off, but it is a learning process that we all go through. Many of us had no idea how to even put two video clips together when we first started. And that is part of the joy of doing YouTube, is that learning process. And if you can make some friends along the way while you're learning that, and get a few tips from this person and this person and this person, and kind of put that together, and make it your own at the same time. You don't want to like copy someone, step by step or whatever, but make it your own. And the other thing is, like, it's your story. Tell it the way you want to tell it. But what I want to work on is just kind of to get it to where, he puts videos out that are easier to watch, that doesn't seem like it was just, thrown together or whatever, just a quick. I think that is probably one of his issues, is like he is very stressed. He's trying to put that video out like, every day or every other day or something like that. And I think he maybe needs to space it out a little bit, spend a little more time with the editing, and maybe think about the video that he's going to produce a little bit more before he just throws one out there. I mean, on a live, it's kind of a free-for-all type deal. That's fine. Not everybody watches lives and everything. A lot of people have talked to me that don't watch my lives, but they watch all my videos. And I've got some constructive criticism from a few people. Sometimes it feels like it's coming from a hater because it seems really, really derogatory. And that's the hard part, is like when you gotta tell somebody like, look, that last video sucked, dude. That's hard to do, especially when you care about that person and their channel, what they're doing and everything. It's really hard to do that and not sugarcoat it or anything, to say, hey, that sucked, and I want to help you a little bit as much as I can. I mean, I can only do so much. I can't do it all. I can't tell you how to do everything, but a few tips I think will help. Unless I move, unless I move all this around, it looks like we have 62 by 8. You mean 2 by 6s? There ain't no 2 by 8s there. Those are 5.5 wide. Let's see. That bathtub is beautiful. Thank you, Cindy Brown. I know I'm way behind, guys. Doohickey planer. Nope, it was I done forgot it again. Dang, jointer. But yeah, I mean, if you gotta buy the lumber, let me turn this heater off. It's killing me. If you gotta buy oak lumber, let's say a 1 by 6. I can't use my phone because I'm on it, but I'm going to say a 1 by 6, 8 foot long. You're probably looking at $40-50 for one of those, if you're going to build your own cabinets like I did. Fortunately, I got a sawmill, and I spent a lot of time and money and effort and everything getting logs and everything here, milling them up, and then drying them over the years. Plus the 4 years prior to that, even just watching a ton of videos and learning about sawmills, how to sawmill, how to dry lumber, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I spent a good portion of my life learning all the stuff I know. This is not something that happened overnight. I used to work about 20 hours a day, pretty much every day of my life, get about 4 hours of sleep. I busted my butt for everything I got. I've never had something handed out to me. So I've worked really hard for all the stuff I got. I don't want people, thinking that, all this stuff was given to me. I've only recently been asking the community to help out a little bit with, covering cost and everything to go and do these projects and stuff. Yes, I benefit a little bit from it. Getting viewers, getting, subscribers and all the views and everything. Some people have emailed me and called me an e-beggar. Some people have emailed me and just been really hateful. I've even seen the comments here on YouTube. I've had to delete those. But people, it's like, man, you get on YouTube and you beg for something, and you just get what you want. I'm like, not exactly. No, not all this stuff was given to me. I have had a few people chip in and help out a bunch, and I try to give credit where credit's due. Sometimes those people don't want any credit. They don't want their name put out there on YouTube or anything, and so I have to respect their wishes. But yeah, I I work extremely hard, and I actually feel like I earn what I get from YouTube. I try to put out quality content as much as I possibly can, and I try to tell a story with the bus here and everything. Like everything I'm doing, and the things you guys are going to see happening in the near future. That I'm going to be moving out of this house. I'm going to be living in this bus by myself. I'm going to be moving to another property, possibly buying another property, and basically like starting over again and pretty much just going debt free. The only payment I'll have is a small land payment, um, and I'm hoping that I can continue doing YouTube to where I can make enough money with YouTube to pay for that land with that YouTube money, and all my basic needs and everything be met, and then some. That would be super nice. Right now is nowhere near close to that. I've got a long ways to go. I've been doing YouTube for 13 years. Yes, I wasn't serious about it until probably the last probably 3 years or so. Um, but man, I tell you what, it's a journey, and I see what Ed's doing. I like what he's doing and everything. Like I know some of the videos are difficult to watch and stuff like that, but it's gonna get better. Better. I just know it is. It's gonna get better. Let's see. What did you do with the seats you removed? Can you recycle them in any way? I plan on using the bases of the seats. I'm going to use the little feet and stuff off of those, do a little welding and stuff to make the roof brackets for the roof deck and to hold the solar panels on the roof, I believe. And I don't know if you guys can see them. No, this stuff right here is right in the way, but I got a big pile of seats over there in the yard. I know I'm way behind, guys. Gene Ackman said, I'll be there in spirit. Hey, I'll appreciate it. Cindy Brown said, got to take kiddo to school to take care of all. Oh, dang. There's the bottom. Stealing the bus, trying to give them away. So Black Man RV, I guess his seats are still in the bus and he's trying to give them away. Yeah. I don't know that I could sell those seats around here. I mean, just nobody wants them. It depends on where you live. I mean, because if they're good seats, somebody might want to buy them. But yeah, the seats that come out of this bus, they ain't worth nothing. I was kind of thinking about using some of the foam that's in them to make some seating or something in here. Sure, I could use some cushions from it to make some seats, but I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do without a couch or whatever, or any cushions for a couch for a little bit until I can buy some good like memory foam or something like that. And I got a sewing machine. It's actually like an embroidery machine. If I could learn how to make some patches with that, that would be super awesome, because I could set that thing up in here and probably make a few patches a day or something with it to, sew on your hat or something like that. And the first thing I might do is try to embroider that right there if I ever get time to try to sit down and learn that. Yeah, I can run a sewing machine. I can sew. I can crochet. I ain't ashamed to say it. It's not something I like to sit down and do all the time or anything, but I do know how to do that. I take pride in knowing how to do things. If SHTF was to happen, if the crap hit the fan, I like the idea that I can survive no matter what. I kind of seen the things that were coming, that is already here, that we're seeing happening right now. I seen it many, many years ago, and I started doing research and stuff on a sawmill. I said, man, what is something I could have? What is something I could invest in that would ensure that I could make a little bit of money like all the time? And I've always wanted a sawmill. I've always been interested in woodworking and everything. And I thought, you know what? If I bought a sawmill, that is one tool I could have that would help ensure me being able to make a little bit of income, for my retirement and everything. And I'm just trying to build a business with that and everything. It's just not working right now because people just don't really have the extra money to spend and everything on, building stuff and everything. So it is definitely rough. That's just kind of some of the stuff I've been facing, and I really don't want to give up on it, and I don't want to give up on my YouTube and everything, and all the viewers and everyone who's put so much into this to make these things happen. And when I say I'm going to do something, I try my dangest to make sure I make good on what I say I'm going to do. So that's really hard sometimes when you're very limited financially to be able to say, I'm going to come down there, to Mama V's or whatever, and I'm going to be milling down there and everything. It costs a lot of money to move that mill and everything. There's a lot of risk and everything involved. I mean, the transmission could go out on the truck. I could blow a tire out or something. And if it's just a tire goes out, I mean, I'm looking at $200 and something for a tire. Just different things could happen, and so there's a lot of risk involved. And if I take my mill out there and I get rear-ended, I'm out of mill. I don't think my insurance is going to cover my mill. So, and I would just have to hope that the other person, if someone was to hit my mill, that hopefully they're insured. Let's see. Nico Therion, your work makes me want to find a bus to do a schoolie with at some point. Heck yeah, man! It's an awesome adventure, guys. Uh, you know, just the thought of when I was getting my tax return, I thought, if I could get this amount of money back, there's a piece of property that I've been eyeballing. Um, and I just didn't quite get that much back on my tax return. And so I couldn't just go get that piece of property. But I looked up that property again and it was gone. It was a $6,000, 1.20 acre lot, not too far away from the Crocker's off grid property. Uh, the only real nice thing about this property, it was really close to 412 highway over there in Oklahoma. And it had 110-volt power on site. That was a huge plus for me because I said, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily have to have solar on the bus if I was to get that property. I could move my shipping container, the bus, and all my stuff. Basically, set up shop in my shipping container with my tools and stuff for woodworking. Get the sawmill out there. Maybe buy a load of logs from a logging company and then mill that up and build my own house out of a load of logs. That was kind of the plan, but I didn't get enough back on my tax return to make that happen. Plus, that property was already sold. So I had to make up a plan B. And I said, well, a buddy of mine has offered me to be able to come out and actually buy a piece of property off of him, basically kind of take over on that property and everything. And I think I'm probably going to take him up on that. We'll be talking more about that later on down the road when that becomes more of a reality. But anyways, so that will probably happen. And I said, well, if I go out there, I've got to have solar because there's no power out there. It's completely off grid. I'm going to have to get a Wii Boost. That's going to be probably one of my next big expenses. I do have, there's a memory foam mattress. I got that ordered. I got the water tank ordered. It's a 75-gallon water tank. I went with a cheaper one. I got like the cheapest propane fired tankless hot water heater that I could find on Amazon. I got that ordered. I still got to get all the plumbing and stuff like that right there. And I've got to get the bus legal so I can drive it. I really want to take this bus to Shoot Dang Fest. I think that's April 29th and 30th. Hope you guys will be there. What's up, Tiny Tim and Patty Price? Myers kids have got to go or got to head to town. Talk to y'all later. Hope you have a good day. All right, we'll see you, Myers kids. Yeah, and I think that property, that's what kind of sucks. That property that I wanted was over there, not too far from Myers kids. Opposite direction of Patty Price. Hopefully we get to meet Patty Price, guys. So I'm hoping she makes it out there to the 10 acres that Ed is on. Let's see. Tiny Tim says, smash that like button. We got Dawn Lee in here. Oh, guys, this is quite an adventure, guys. My coffee is starting to cool off to where I can actually drink it now. And then it burnt me. Shoot, dang. Yeah, I cut out a little bit on that video I did the other day when my brother was here. We're loading up that mill. Um, so a little backstory on that mill, if you guys didn't catch it in that video. Um, that the lathe and mill, it's an all-in-one machine. That is a Smithy Granite 1324. It's a 13-inch swing on the lathe, 24-inch between centers on the lathe, and then it of course has that end mill on it that kind of acts as a drill press and stuff. I use that machine to machine some of the pin clevises and stuff on my log arch trailer, so you can kind of see them right there and then right there. I use that mill to drill those out and stuff, machine that stuff. So that was very key to building that log arch trailer right there. But that lathe and mill used to belong to my oldest brother. And I always swore that those things were going to stay in the family, just like the 1969 Chevy 3/4 ton that's sitting over here by the fence. That was my grandma and grandpa's. I've got pictures of when I was just about that big right there, sitting on my grandpa's knee over in Miami, Oklahoma, and that pickup truck with that camper on it that's sitting in the background. I remember going to like Lake Eufaula, stuff like that, with my grandma and grandpa and camping out there in that pickup truck, sleeping in the back end of that truck. We also had an old military canvas tent. I think it was like a 3-room military canvas tent that they used to haul around in the bed of that pickup, and we'd take that out camping and stuff. So a lot of camping in my childhood back in the day at all these lakes and stuff in Oklahoma. Um, it kind of sucks that I may not be moving to Oklahoma. I may actually be moving a little further east in Missouri, but it's still kind of in the general area. And I'm going to be doing a new channel. I think the name of that is Ozark Life Off Grid. I got a couple of names. I think there's one, it's Ozark Life, and the other one is Ozark Life Off Grid. So you guys let me know which channel name sounds better. I'm going to have a second channel. I guess it'll actually be a third, because I got the Hillbilly Woodsman is my second channel. There's only like 3 videos on that one. Let's see. Motocross chick Tracy says, holy cow, lumber went back up. I just looked locally. Lowe's and Home Depot want over $735 for a 2x4 8-foot long. Yeah, that's went down. I don't know if it's actually been lower than that. It might have been $6 and something, a 2x4. But man, the $3 stud 2x4, those days are long gone. I don't think we're ever going to see that again. Yeah, not with the stuff going on in the world right now. We got China buying up all the sticks of lumber from Canada. So we're not getting all that imported lumber from Canada. And we've got the Pacific Northwest has had a multitude of fires, mill fires, forest fires, everything. So it's really hard for that to come back. And I've had so many people come out here and they want to buy oak 2x4s off of me for dirt cheap. And I'm like, I can't sell it that cheap. I sell it cheap at $2 a board foot is dirt cheap, for lumber that you actually would normally use for woodworking, building cabinetry and stuff like that. Normally, if you got lumber, some good oak lumber, it's going to sell for $4 or $5 a board foot, not $2 a board foot. And I get people that show up here all the time and they just balk at the prices. They're like, huh, I can go to Lowe's and get it cheaper than that. And I'm like, sure you can. I already know the prices. You can go get 2x4s to build with cheaper than that, yes. But you're not going to get oak cheaper than that. And that's the struggle that I deal with on a daily basis trying to sell lumber, and it's pretty much made it to where I just gave up on trying to sell lumber. I just try to build things with the lumber I got and then sell those projects because that was my original intent in buying a sawmill. Let's see here. Patty Price following Jan and Boss down on Saturday, I think. Sweet. Can't wait to meet you, Patty Price. That's going to be awesome. You guys be careful, though. That traffic in Springfield's crazy. Rebecca Davis, touched by your arm, said, I'm sorry I didn't tell you I was leaving. Where'd it go? My sister called. Now I'm back again. Hey, it's good. You guys, you don't have to tell me you're leaving or nothing like that. I think when everyone says, hey, I got to go or whatever, it hurts it a little bit. Like other people are like, yeah, I got to get out of here. But I can't believe it. We still got close to 50 people in here. Crazy Ed said, I don't think Jan and the boss man are coming until Sunday. I don't know, Ed. I'm pretty sure Patty Price and Jan have been talking on the phone, but at least I hope you guys have been. And there's a lot of things in the works that are, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I don't even know about. I know there's going to be some awesome stuff happening. And I cannot believe how many people are coming together to make this happen. I don't even know exactly how many it is, but the last I heard was like 13 channels. And a lot of those channels, there's like 2 people in that channel. There's a lot of homesteaders and stuff coming together to make this happen. If I can bring enough lumber to maybe try and build a small chicken coop for Ed, I'd like to do that because he has some pallets and stuff. He just doesn't have all the lumber and stuff to like put the siding on and everything. So hopefully if there's enough left over, he can build a chicken coop. So if somebody has some chickens they want to bring out, you can bring those out. I could maybe I don't want to bring a rooster right now with all the other stuff I'm going to be hauling. It's still a little bit cold, I think, to be hauling a rooster in a cage without a tarp around it. It'd be a bit breezy for that long of a ride. So I probably need to hold off on that. But I think if we could get him set up with a way to hatch out his own eggs, an incubator that runs off a 12 volt, that would be a great project in the future. So he can, run an incubator or something off of his solar. I know he's going to need a few more solar panels. He's only got a 100-watt system right now to get put up on the cabin. He's going to need some batteries. I'm not sure what batteries. I think it would be nice if he had AGM batteries so he can actually put those inside his cabin. If they're a flooded lead acid battery, they have to be outside of the cabin because those off gas and the gas that comes off of those is a bit toxic and flammable. So AGM would not be bad, but honestly, he really needs some cheap lithium iron phosphate batteries because the AGM batteries and stuff, he's going to have to replace those like every couple of years or so. It's really dependent on how far they get drained out and everything. So he's going to need some more solar panels and everything. I'm not like asking y'all to, make all this stuff happen for him or anything, but I'm hoping that he'll be able to make this happen. But if we can get some chickens out there so he can have, eggs for breakfast every now and then, maybe have eggs for some barter or whatever to trade with people, maybe barter with his neighbors and stuff around there. That'd be super awesome. Kind of help boost his homestead a little bit and, get him on the right track. We were talking last night. I said, honestly, you could right now at this time of year, I think the cold snaps are kind of laying off. We shouldn't have anything super, super cold. And if your chickens have a place to get under cover, you can literally let them free range. That's kind of how mine are. I have them locked up right now because we've been having some predator issues. And so, yes, he definitely needs to get a coop built as soon as possible so he has a place to put them up and everything. I know typically you want to have a coop already there, and you want to, close them up in that coop for a few weeks, so they know that's where they're to go at night and everything. So they just kind of get trained and used to that process. Um, and I had that with my chickens, and next thing you know, I brought in another rooster, and he had different ideas, and he trained them different, and they started getting up on top of the coop at night, which was fine because the predators weren't getting up there and getting to them on that coop. But out here where I live, the biggest predator I got is big old like 3,000 pound vehicles flying up and down my road. So I've went from like 13 hens down to two, and I'm really hoping I can hang on to the couple that I got right now. I think I got one of them, I believe, is a black sex link, and the other one is a Rhode Island red. And then I got Grandpa. I can't remember what kind he is, but he came from Kelly over at Roost and Rescue. And then I've got some those black Australorp roosters out here, and I'm kind of thinking about just taking those out there to Ed's and letting them go, letting them free in the wild, let them free range. And if he gets some hens around there, they'll probably stick around with the hens. Um, but if he needs dinner one night, he can have him some chicken, some fresh chicken. I just honestly, I don't want to have to clean the chicken. I don't want to have to skin them or whatever. I dang sure ain't doing the feather plucking and everything. I'll just if I have to clean a chicken or something, if it come down to it, I would just clean it like any other animal. Let's see. Gene Ackman, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Get a little crazy here. Yes, we have. I can't do Sunday. Have to go get grandkids, but we'll double check today. And you may have to give me GPS physical address to put in. I can do that, Patty. Patty, I think you have emailed me or something before. You've messaged me, and I can share that pin drop with you. I don't know if Ed knows how to do that. He does have an address that he says will actually lead you right to it now. I know before the address that he had on that back end of that property, it didn't take you there. So I had a little bit of trouble the first time I went out there. But I do have the pin. I'm not going to give that out to just anybody. Even though everybody knows where I live and everything, because I run a business and stuff here, I still, I respect everybody, all these other channels. I respect their right to privacy, where they live and whatnot. But I know, Patty, you've already talked with Ed and everything, and I know it's okay for you to come out. So I definitely, I'm not going to just give that out to anybody. I can't do that. We got Penelope Roman. That is that's a bot right there, guys. One of you mods want to grab that for me, or should I do it? I can't even click on it. You guys hide that channel from the stream here. We got our first bot of the day. Dang, I've been on here an hour and 13 minutes. I will get a hold of you when we're done here. All right. All right, so I got to get a hold of Patty Price. Man, I need to write this stuff down. I got to get a hold of Come On Homestead. And I ain't even got my notebook right here. I am terrible, guys. I will forget stuff. And then I'm sitting here like hitting stuff, knocking stuff over. Oh, man. That was so accurate. Yep. All right. I'll go squirrel brain after the live, and I forget stuff. Like, I think it was last week, my raindrop live, I was supposed to go check out your channel. I think there was another one. No, I don't have another one wrote down here, but yeah, I just, after the lives, I got so much stuff going on. I end up just like and spacing out, and then I get over there on the sawmill or whatever. I start working on that and just get sidetracked, and I forget to do things. Um, let's see here. What did I miss here? Uh, Tiny Tim Posey, I reported bot. You don't want to report them. You just hide them from the channel. If you report them, it ends up like a lot of times it'll actually report the video, I think, and it ends up like messing with monetization sometimes, I think. Um, yeah, that stirs up stuff with YouTube if you report them. Just when you see a bot in there or whatever, or someone saying some kind of BS or whatever, you can feel free to hide them from the channel or whatever, block them, whatever. If it's just, let's say if it's just someone that's kind of being a butthead, you might put them in timeout or whatever. Later on, I can go back on my laptop and undo stuff if, it's not something that should have been done or whatever. It's not a big deal. Let's see here. Deb Schmood. I live by a big homeschooling community in northern Wisconsin. There were over 20 families that held a spring and fall barter fair. Maybe that would be something to think about. Yeah, definitely. That's something he's got to think about doing is maybe growing certain kind of plants or certain kind of chickens or whatever. And the reason I say chickens is because chickens is like the number one animal to put on your homestead. They provide you with fertilizer. They take care of a lot of the bugs and stuff around. You let them free range, and they really kind of clean the place up. Unfortunately, you got to keep them out of your garden. So I kind of suggested to Ed, at first you might put your electric fence up around your coop and kind of keep your chickens protected. See what kind of predators are out there. Keep the old pew pew handy so you can take care of coyotes and bobcats and stuff. At the same time, if you whack a bobcat, you get your fur bearer's license and everything. You can actually sell those bobcat furs and make a few bucks. That is another income for a homestead. I know here locally we had a fur buyer that was here for years until he passed away, and now I don't really know who people take their furs to sell those. But I know fox and bobcat were paying pretty good last I knew. Um, and I've got a beautiful bobcat that loves eating my chickens out here. And one of these days, if I can get a bead on him, he's gonna get it. Let's see here. Just saying how it is. I probably won't put that on YouTube, but that's just the facts of life. Let's see. Well, on Saturday I have to work 7 to 4:30. I won't be home until 5:30 Saturday night. That's good, Ed. You just keep working. Do what you need to do, and that's why everyone's coming out here to make these things happen a little bit quicker for you, to try and make it a little easier on you. I know it's not making it a whole lot easier. It is going to help a little bit. And we're not trying to come in there and build a cabin and take away all this content from you. We're trying to help. I know it does take content away from Ed, and what I talked with him about last night is like, well, I wanted him to be building on the cabin, but at the same time, there's going to be so many people doing videos on that, and that can take away from his content. And I want him to go around and document and video and try to do the best job he can possibly do to help grow his channel and put some content out there and everything. He doesn't have to be sitting there holding a hammer all the time or something. I want him to feel free to kind of do whatever he wants, and I want him to go around and document all the different projects that are going on and everything, what everyone's doing. I want him to visit with these other channels that are out there. This is a meetup of sorts. That's kind of what it's turned into. I didn't expect all this, and so I've kind of rethought things, and I don't want to take away from his content of what he can put on his channel, and I don't want him putting the exact same content out that I'm putting out. I want, I'm pretty much just going to be filming like the build of the cabin. That's it. There's going to be some other stuff going on, like getting a garden going and stuff. I've got some old seeds and stuff here that I'm going to try to gather up to bring out, like cucumbers and things like that, to get him to throw that in the ground, get it started. I think some green beans and stuff. I like to grow some of that here, but unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be here long enough to even harvest some of that stuff. So I don't know if I'm even starting a garden this year. I really need to. With the things going on in the world right now, I really need a garden going. Um, and I'm going to bring some pickled eggs out, let him try those. He says that he doesn't think he likes pickled eggs. I don't know if he's ever tried them before. These are homemade. It's kind of my own recipe that I threw in the jar, and they're really good. I pickled them a long time ago, like I think 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure they should still be good. I don't know that they go bad. Um, if there's homesteaders out there watching my channel right now, let me know, how long does pickled eggs, or how long are they good for? I'll eat one, and we'll see if it does me in. See if I'm on the toilet all night. But I'm pretty sure they're good. Let's see. Simply Jan wants to know if we are going to have enough material to build this cabin. I don't know. I think we're going to have to get some more either 2x4s or 2x6s. I just don't know. That's a tough one because absolutely nobody will tell me what they're bringing. I've had people say that they're bringing this or they're bringing that, and I said, email me. Send me an email so I know what you're bringing. So I know that I can count on you to bring what you said you were bringing, and nobody has emailed me. I've talked to Jan about what they're bringing and everything. She's bringing an air nailer, some nails, a table saw, a chop saw, a generator, I think, and I'm bringing my 2 generators, my air compressor, my air nailer. I've got 1,150 nails for my air nailer. I think for 1,000 nails, you're looking at dang near $50 for 1,000 nails from Harbor Freight. Let's see. Fallen Arkansas veterans, what's up? And said howdy, David, in chat. As long kept in refrigerator, we had them up to a year. Well, these ain't been in the refrigerator at all. They've been just sitting out on the shelf. Don Lee said refrigerated 3 to 4 months. So if I eat one of those eggs, it's going to probably do me in. Maybe I shouldn't bring them. I can bring some canned green beans. I know those are good because I had some the other day. I love those green beans. I grew that in my garden and, snapped them and everything in half, cut the ends of them off, put them in the jar and canned them, and they're good. There's nothing like taking something that you planted it, you grew it, you canned it, and then eating it later on. You just get a certain kind of enjoyment from that. It's the same thing when you go cut a tree down, you mill it up, you dry it, and you make something out of it, like that little coffee table right there. And guys, it's still for sale. Ain't nobody emailed me about it. So if you want that coffee table, I'll take less than 800 for it. I'd love to get 800 out of it. But if you guys want that thing, let me know. And if you're on the way of me going out to Ed's, or if you're on the way going down to Arkansas out towards the 41.36, I can meet you with it and not have to spend a bunch of money on shipping. I really don't want to have to take it apart to ship it. It does have pocket hole screws holding it together. Once you get it, if you want, you can glue it together, put the screws back in it, whatever. But I mean, there's some of it, like the stretcher leg is actually glued together on it. But it can be taken apart and kind of flat packed and shipped. There you go. There is the question of the day right there. That's a super good question, Patty Price. She said, Ed, what are you wanting in a garden? Well, Ed wasn't even thinking about making a garden. I said, no, you need a garden, Ed, and we need to know what you like to eat. I know he likes tomatoes. Um, Patty Price, I have a ton of seeds. Okay, he's got a ton of seeds. But hopefully, while we have some tractors there, we can, you know, I'm saying he probably should put his garden in the concrete area where the old cabin homestead used to be. That kind of helps contain things, and I think it can actually that footer all the way around that can actually help with putting a fence up around it or something. And I kind of suggested that, maybe he build like a pergola inside there with a fire pit, things like that. Just throwing some ideas out there. I said, I know what your viewers would love to see because I'm one of your viewers. I would love to see you make a garden, put some trellis stuff in there, a pergola, a fire pit, have some seating around it, kind of a Garden of Eden in a sense type thing. Just put a lot of thought and effort into doing something like that, Ed. And I think a lot of people would love that content. So I can definitely come up with a lot of great ideas for content, but it's hard for me to do stuff like that. I love to do that myself, and maybe in the future at a new property, I might do stuff like that. Um, because I mean that's kind of a dream I've always had is have a nice pergola set up with an outdoor fireplace, a fire pit and everything kind of out to the side of that, and just have like a Garden of Eden if you can picture that would be super awesome, and just have all these edible plants all around you that if you're hungry you can just reach over. There's some blackberry bushes or something right next to you. Let's see. Donnelly said, I did a search on pickled eggs, lifespan, and most of the sites say 3 to 4 months. Well, I know that I've eaten them well beyond a year, and I did not get sick. Um, I think they're on their second year right now. They haven't been open since I canned them. So if they've been open, I don't keep them very long. Um, so I guess I'm in that experimental area right now. How good was my canning? uh, let's see, David. That is a 27 by 35 area. I don't know if I need a garden that big. Um, you may not need a garden that big, but why not? If you can, all right. Here's the thing: you can grow all these things, and you can take seeds from a lot of it. If you don't eat it, take those seeds and store them up for the next season. You can sell seeds, and what you don't eat, you can actually feed to your chickens too. So you could grow sorghum in part of that, and you take the tassels and you keep that for your chickens later on. So what you got to think about is you're not just growing a garden for yourself. You can grow that for your chickens, and those chickens could actually also be meat birds or a barter item, something you can trade later on if you need something else. You could, you have a neighbor out there that might need something like that, and you might be able to trade. So definitely keep that in mind, Ed. But yeah, I mean that's a pretty good size garden area. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're trying to provide a lot of your own food, it's not that big. Yeah, I'm just saying, you grow as much as you can, be a producer, and produce as much as you possibly can, and use that to every advantage you possibly can, whether that be paying it forward, giving it to someone, feeding it to your chickens, gathering your seeds from that for the next year. Let's see. Crazy Ed said, Tiny Tim is supposed to be in the 70s all week. Heck yeah. That sounds awesome. I think Saturday it was looking like we might have a possibility of a little bit of rain or something. I haven't looked at it here lately, but that's only one day to maybe get a little bit of rain, maybe in the afternoon or something. So I'm hoping that we don't get that, and hopefully it just makes for a really nice, those one of those mornings where you have that fog come in and the sun's coming up. That makes for some really, really awesome shots for those intros and stuff. that's what I'm hoping for, Ed, is maybe it'll rain the night before, and then in the morning you get up before the sun comes up, get your camera set up on the tripod, and start gathering those shots. Sometimes you just have to spend half a day getting those shots and get those things on a external hard drive or something like that to, over time you can build your intro or something. And if you guys couldn't tell with my intros, I don't like putting the same intro out there all the time. It gets a little boring for me. And I feel like that kind of gets boring for other people. But at the same time, I guess subliminally, people like that familiarity of when they hear a YouTube video come on and it's got that song, they know they kind of associate that song with that YouTube channel, like Jared Crocker's videos. A lot of times you hear that music and you're like, hey, that's Jared Crocker's video. If you just have YouTube playing in the background. And, a lot of times I'll come over and be like, all right, I'm going to watch this, and then you'll get a comment or something a lot of times. So it's nice to have an intro that is very familiar to your channel. I've gotten that tip from a few people, and I don't take everybody's tips and stuff. I mean, some of them mean well, and not everything works for every channel too. You have to always keep that in mind too. Everyone's saying hi to everybody. Let's see. Tiny Tim Posey, pickled eggs were preserved for years, used before refrigeration. It works, but the alphabets say no now. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know how good that. I mean, of course they probably. I would say they're probably still good since they haven't been opened. There shouldn't be any kind of bacteria introduced into them. I guess if you don't can them properly and you don't get all the bacteria killed in there, then it's going to grow. The thing with eggs, though, is like in the middle is really hard to make sure you've, cooked them well enough, and it could be growing stuff on the inside out. So, yeah, I don't know everything about canning and everything. It's still definitely a learning thing for me. But, I don't know if I want to bring pickled eggs and risk getting a bunch of people sick. Smash that like button. Let's see. Lori Carr. What else you guys want to talk about? I'm usually on here for about 2 hours on my Monday morning lives. I would be in a hurry to get out there and mill, but I've got a pretty big log to pick up and put on the mill, and it's so muddy over there. The other day, I was trying to back the trailer up with that little bit of lumber on there. I've got a sheet of plywood that came out of the bus that I'm bringing out also. It's not a real great sheet of plywood, but he might be able to find a use for that, maybe for a chicken coop roof or something like that. So I just threw that on the trailer. I said I'll bring that out. But with that little bit of weight on that trailer, my back tires on my pickup were just slipping and sliding in the mud in the yard. So I'm pretty sure if I get a log on the back end of that trailer, what it does is it picks up weight off the drive tires on the back of my truck, and it really gets slippery. Yeah, smash that like button, folks. We got 52 people in here and 46 thumbs up. If we could match that 52, 51 people, that'd be awesome. What days is people showing up to work? The 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm coming out on Thursday. And the plan is that Altruistic Farmstead and Our Cabin in the Woods, both of those channels are planning on bringing tractors and implements and stuff out to kind of get started. So we don't want everyone showing up on Thursday. I actually have some things coming in on Thursday, so I might be getting there a little late on Thursday. I mean, I'm going to be loading stuff up and everything, kind of last minute stuff. It's just how it always works out. So it's probably going to be late afternoon when I get out there Thursday. The guys with the tractors and everything, Altruistic and Our Cabin in the Woods, Ed has a video out there kind of talking about where like camp and stuff is going to be. Um, yeah, one thing I want to say is we do not want to disturb the dirt where the cabin is going. It's got a gentle slope to it. There's grass there, and we don't want that to be muddy. We just want to build on top of the ground just like it is. I don't want to be tracking through mud and all that stuff trying to build a cabin. I just there's grass there. I want to leave it like it is. We'll level everything up, shim it just how the ground is right now. There is a big log that's towards the road it's next to the foundation of the old homestead that burnt down. Um, when I get out there, I'm going to be cutting that up into like firewood size pieces. I know somebody's bringing a log splitter out. I believe it's Our Cabin in the Woods. Um, so if you can pull your log splitter over there near that big log, when I get out there with my Husqvarna, I'm gonna, that's one of the first things I'm probably gonna do is start getting that cut up, so people can start splitting that wood for firewood for the fire pit, for everybody to gather around in the afternoons, and we can do lives and stuff like that. This is going to be a really awesome event for a lot of channels to, I think one night we're definitely going to have Ed go live, and I've got that big bright light. We're going to try to get that thing set up in a kind of central location where we can go live and, just have this awesome get together with all of you guys out there that unfortunately aren't able to actually make it. So we want to put it on YouTube. And that kind of leads me back to something I was talking about earlier. I've had people comment saying that I'm doing this just for the views and blah, blah, blah. Yes, guys, I do YouTube for the views. All right. There's no reason for me to put YouTube videos out there and not be trying to get views and not try to grow my channel. I do YouTube for the views. Now, helping Ed out, I'm not doing that for the views. I've actually considered not even doing a video on it and just saying, you know what? I'm not going to do a video. If you want to watch what happens at Ed's property, you need to go check out his channel. I've thought about doing that, but at the same time, this is also part of my story. This is what I do. And there's been a lot of you guys who have pitched in to make this happen, that's pitched in to help me get down to Mama V's. MT Homestead, they sent me $50 to help a little bit with the gas. That's not going to pay for all the gas, but that's going to help out a bunch. That's $50 closer. It's $50 I don't have to take out of my own pocket to go down there to Mama V's. And so I feel obligated to produce some footage and some video and everything, for those people who have, chipped in to send me there. So yeah, I'm not doing this for Ed and for Mama V and everybody just for views. But yes, I do YouTube to try and make a living at doing this. So I don't want to see those comments like, oh, you're just doing this for the views and all this and that. Guys, this is something I've done my entire life. If I was able to help somebody out, you could ask my brother, you can ask my mom. She might even be in here watching. And they will tell you, I've always been a giving person. I've always been willing to help people, and do this stuff for free long before I was ever a YouTuber. That's just who I am. So I'm not doing it just for the views, but yes, I do YouTube videos for the views, guys. 100%. I ain't gonna lie to you. I make videos for the views. All right. I'm trying to grow this community. And if I can do that and everybody can come together, can you imagine? Like, I just started this and this is what we're already able to accomplish. And in the future, as this community grows, the things that we will be able to accomplish is going to be huge, guys. Huge. I'm telling you. Crazy Ed said, Elizabeth, I have 20 cinder blocks and 20 solid blocks. So he's got the figure 8 cinder blocks, 20 of those, and he's got 20 of the capstone that go above and below those. I think we were figuring on 15 or something. But his buddy, I forget his name, as a truck driver out there, he called into a local big box store and paid for those, and Ed just had to go pick them up. So if you want to, if we can come up with like 50 2x4s or so for the studs for the walls. I don't know if you guys want to order some of those and have them waiting at the Home Depot or the Lowe's in Branson, Missouri. He can go pick those up, or I can go pick them up. Probably prefer that I go pick him up because his vehicle's not legal, and we definitely don't want him getting pulled over, getting a ticket, getting hassled and everything, because that's the last thing he needs to happen. Let's see. Motocross Chick said, awesome, Ed. David, some things have changed, just not allowed to say in your live. Oh, see, there's so many things have changed. That's an awful lot of physical work just to get views. Exactly. Man, if y'all just knew. 13 years of producing videos. I mean, yes, I haven't been serious about it until about the last 3 or 4 years. And then I've progressively just been trying to hit it. And I've been watching the Crockers for a while now, ever since about the time he started in the tent. I just happened to see a video of this guy that looked like he's wearing skinny jeans, and he's trying to pick up this big old heavy oak log and put it on a sawmill that was it's the same brand as my sawmill. And I clicked on that video, and that's when I found the Crockers. And I started watching. I was like, this guy is good with a camera. I've got a lot to learn from this guy. And it's just, watching his channel and everything and all the other channels that he's, put out there. And I'm like, dang, this YouTube thing could be something, right? It could be something one day. And then, seeing some of the things that other people have done, like Jan and all them, I've always wanted to be, this helping person and I've watched like Homestead Rescue. I've watched that video or the movie or shows, whatever. I think his name is Ty Pennington or something like that. Extreme Makeover Home Edition, I think it is. I liked watching those shows on TV. I don't watch TV anymore. I only watch YouTube. And I do YouTube now. So I was like, what if I could kind of recreate something like that? What if I can make a difference in the world? What if I could change somebody's life? And, watching Ed's channel, I've seen a decline, right? I've seen this guy struggling and just a lot of things not going the way it needs to go or the way he wants it to go or whatever. And I was like, man, this guy, I'm worried about him. Okay. Ed, close your ears, but I'm just being honest. I was a little worried about him and everything. I was like, if I was in his position, guys, I don't know how far I'd be away from that bad decision. And you guys know that bad decision I'm talking about, the bad decision that nobody should ever do, because that's not the answer. That's how I lost my older brother, guys. And I seen this guy really, really struggling. And I said, what if I could change his life? What if I could put a smile on his face? And now I've seen that smile on his face. I know he's really stressed right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. He feels like he's obligated to help, plan this stuff out. And Ed kind of needs to take a step back, and he needs to focus on his channel. He needs to focus on videoing this stuff and putting that out there for you guys. He needs to focus on producing that content for you guys and building his channel up. And that's what we're there for. We're all there to help him out. We're not there trying to take away from him. We're trying to build him up. I know he's wanted to go out and help out a lot of other channels and stuff and do some, kind of do what I'm doing. And I seen that and I said, what if I could change this guy's life? And, God put it in front of me one day when I got my log arch trailer built. I had no idea this was coming. And it just seems like things fell into place, guys. And those things didn't just fall into place. I'm telling you, that man upstairs, he put me where I am today. He didn't come out and speak it to me and say, hey, Dave, this is what you're going to do, blah, blah, blah. I don't even understand his plan, but I do know one thing. If I try to take the steering wheel away from God, things go south, okay? Whenever I let go of that steering wheel and I just started following in faith, guys, I know what it's like to watch my channel and see the direction I'm going right now. And a lot of people are thinking, holy crap, how's this guy making this work? most of the time I'm flat broke, guys, and I'm just following what I believe God wants me to do. You know, I got that log arch trailer done and a tornado went through. I didn't even know the tornado happened. I put a post on Facebook Marketplace, said that I was looking for free logs. My phone blew up, guys. It blew up. It was going off all day and all night. People wanted me to come down to Rogers, Arkansas, Bella Vista, down there by the Walmart amphitheater to pick up trees out of their yard, do free cleanup. I had $16,000 in the bank and I invested that money in gas in my pickup to go pick up these logs. I was cleaning up people's yards for free for 3 months. I had a yard full of logs here, a yard full of logs. And when I needed money, what did I do? I would load up some of these logs out of my yard. I would take them to the local big sawmill and sell logs to them. That kept putting money in my gas tank. I would mill up a few logs here and there, try to sell a little bit of lumber. It kept me busy for a good bit. Then the big CV happened, and that put a big hurting on what I was doing, and I had to go get a job. And then things went a little sour with that job, and I had to quit. Okay, I worked that job for a year or two, something like that, and then I had to quit. And then things they just continued to decline. The house has been in forbearance ever since. I still keep getting letters from the mortgage company. They sent me one the other day. It's the same stuff that saying that they need to hear from me, blah blah blah. It's the same stuff, but every time I call them, they're like, "Oh, just ignore that. Don't worry about that. Your stuff is in review, and we're just waiting for it to come back from the underwriter." So that's where I'm sitting out with the property right now. But things are going to change around here pretty drastically. There's going to be a big move that's going to happen of me moving everything. I'm going to be hopefully a lot better off. I know it's going to be a struggle going through a divorce and everything like that. But that's something I need to do to better myself, to get away from that crazy stressful situation that I'm in. It's not a good situation. And I think it's best for me and her both that we separate. It'll help both of us be better people. And it's a crazy journey, and I don't know exactly where it's heading. I'm trying to figure it out as I go, and hoping that God's going to lead me exactly where I need to be. And so that's what I'm doing, guys. And when you see something like this just falling into place in your life, sometimes you just have to know that that's God's doing, and it's not me. It's not me like planning it all out and everything, because there's no way I could plan all this stuff out, like everything that's happened. I did see this kind of situation coming from years ago, and that's what caused me to end up getting the sawmill and everything. That's kind of all I've had in it, but everything else has been God's plan. Let's see here. Don Lee said Ed needs to focus on Ed. I definitely 100% agree with that, Don Lee. Ed, he's got to focus on Ed. He's got to keep working the job he's got. We talked a little bit about maybe him looking for a closer job that maybe pays a little better or something, so he doesn't have to drive so far to get to work. I did find a pickup truck. Unfortunately, we can't even bid on it right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to go for 1,000 or 1,500. It's an old O'Reilly's delivery truck. It's a repo at the place where my wife works. Unfortunately, Ed's told me to, use the money from that fund to help get all the things and stuff out to his property. We bought the solar charge controller, stuff like that for him and everything. So that has depleted those funds that we had. So we're down to $9 in that account right now, to be honest with you. But and I still got another load to haul out there. Let's see here. Ed said, Don Lee, I'm doing that. Yep. Got to focus on like what you're doing. Try to get your plan together step by step. And that plan will change as you go. I would like to see you get a garden going and have some chickens and everything. That gives you some eggs and stuff, that gives you protein and everything. So you're not having to buy as much groceries. I know you don't want to eat eggs for breakfast every morning or whatever. Me personally, I can do that without any issue. But I know there's a lot of people that can't do that. But at the same time, that's also a barter thing. You can maybe do some barter and stuff with a neighbor or something like that. Uh, just throwing some ideas out there. Let's see here. At the very least, if you can sell some eggs, it can help pay for the chicken feed. Uh, God works in mysterious ways, for sure. There's Ridge Life. What's up, Tim? He said, "What up, homie?" Good to see you, Tim. Thank you for being in here. Let's see here. Ed's like, "Hello, Ridge Life." Everyone saying hi to Tim. That's awesome to see you in here, Tim. Oh, Tiny Tim Posey saying hi to Tim. I still got my coffee here. I ain't drinking this stuff. Guys, we got about 10 minutes before I hit that 2 hour mark. I guess I'm trying to start a new trend of 2 hour long lives. I know a lot of people ain't going to stay here for 2 hours, but when I do these early lives, if I only do it for an hour, there's a lot of people that comment later on. They're like, man, I just missed your live by 5 minutes. And so I'm just kind of doing these 2 hour lives to allow more people to come in. You don't have to stay for the whole live if you don't want to. Don't feel obligated to do nothing like that. But if you guys got any questions, maybe there's something that you missed out on early on or something, or maybe just caught the end of it, go ahead and throw those questions in there. We got about 9 minutes or so left, 10 minutes. I'm not real strict on these early morning lives because I don't know who else is going live after this or anything, if anybody. There's Mary Jemison. Say good morning. See, I don't know if were you in here earlier, Mary? See, I could have missed you if I didn't stay on this long. Myers Kids, I'm back in on your live. You've been in and out a couple times, huh? Get my coffee in today. I don't drink coffee every morning anymore, but yeah, I prefer whenever I'm gonna have my my fiber that I drink it in coffee instead of in just straight water. That way it doesn't taste funny or nothing. Let's see. Ridge Life said, "Congrats on 3K again." Yeah, we're not too far away from 3,100 now. Hit 3K, and then I think yesterday I hit 3,050 something, which is crazy. I mean, it blows my mind that there's that many people out there that subscribe to my channel, that like watching the content I put out there. And what I really like is that, the more subscribers I get, the more effect it has on another channel when I go find another channel, someone I like watching or whatever, or someone that I can collaborate with. And when I effect that it does to their channel, and it brings people to their channel, puts them out there, I love that. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I've got this many subscribers. I mean, if I had 1 million subscribers and there's a channel out there that's got 50 or one, someone who's just starting out, I'm still going to be the same me. If I like what you're doing or whatever, and I want to, come out and collaborate with you, I'm not going to sit there and be one of those people that's like, oh, I'm a bigger channel. I can't collab with you or whatever. I'm not going to be like that. Matter of fact, when I see other channels like that I watch or whatever, and I see them getting that way, it kind of makes me reel back a little bit because I don't like that. And most of the time, I don't even know how many subscribers a channel has unless they put that out there. That's just not something I look at. I like to see them grow, that's for sure. And that's one thing that Tim has done. His channel, his Watch and Grow, that helped me get over 1,000 subs, guys. And so that's super awesome. I've seen him help out a ton of channels. The research he has to do, like watching people's videos and learning about them and everything, doing that communitizing that he talks about, that's a lot of work. I know it is. It's a lot of work trying to keep up with what everyone's doing and everything. And I see Mike and Terry over at MT Homestead doing a lot of the same thing. I watched their Sunday shout out yesterday, and it's pretty awesome. Some of the channels they watch or whatever, and they bring them in on a live and they talk about what they do and everything. Really a great show. I mean, it was well put together. I don't watch all of them or anything because unfortunately I can't. But I watched the one yesterday and I said, wow, this is a pretty well put together show. They've done a really good job. I like watching that. And stuff like that. When you see that one video that you're just like, I really like this. This is a good deal. That makes you end up coming back in like the next Sunday in a row to see that. But yeah, I hope that I get to see a lot of you guys out there Saturday or Sunday. I think Ed is off on Sunday and Monday. So yeah, you guys, anyone that wants to come out and help with the build at Ed's place, you need to get a hold of Crazy Ed. And if he gets a hold of me and says, hey, can you send the pin, like the little GPS coordinates to this person so they can get there to that property, then I can handle that. He might be able to do it too. I don't know. But yeah, you need to go through Ed first so he knows who's all coming out to his property. Let's see. And Ridge Life said, communitize. Yep. Crazy. Wouldn't it be awesome to see Ridge Life come out and help build on the cabin? Yes, that would be super awesome. Let's see. Ridge Life said, I appreciate it. I'm 40 away from 10,000. I thought you hit 10,000 the other night. I thought you were closer than that. Did they take some away or something? Like when the Crockers, I think, was doing a live, they were talking about that. I thought you hit 10,000 that night. I remember I went and looked at it, and I want to say you were like 9 or 10 away. Thumbs up, people. Yep. Yeah, bring on the fellowship. Yeah, I think what we're going to do, I'm not going to set a hard time like, okay, like 5 o'clock, we're going to stop working or whatever, because it really kind of depends where we're at in the build of the cabin and everything. But I want to say probably around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to be kind of, shutting things down on the build and everything, get a fire going in the fire pit, and everyone's going to kind of chill out, relax. We'll have dinner and everything and have fellowship where we all sit there and, just talk amongst ourselves and everything, and like get a live set up or something. And, it's all up in the air. We're not going to be real strict like, oh, this person's going live this night or this person's going live this night. That's up in the air. That's to be decided whenever we get to that. But yeah, I definitely want Ed to do a live when everyone's there. I think it's going to be super awesome. We'll have a nice little fire pit set up and everything like we did at the 41.36. It's going to be sweet, guys. And I hope y'all will tune in. Make sure that you're subscribed to Crazy Ed's Homestead. Simply Jan, she will be going live from when she gets there, Saturday or Sunday, whenever that is. So yeah, Ridge Life said, so close. Yeah, so close. Man, if I was at 10,000 subs, I don't even know what I'd do. That's amazing. That is amazing. And the crazy thing was, there's always these arbitrary numbers, like you got to have this many subs in order to do this on your channel. But then I seen like, Crazy Ed, he's got the merch shelf down there. Critter Creek helped get that set up for him. I had to go and do my own research to figure out how to do that. Unfortunately, I used Bonfire. And Bonfire, like their deal is, you've got to have 10,000 subscribers or more in order to have the merch shelf like set up or whatever. So I may have to switch to Teespring so I can do that. Myers Kid said Ridge Life at 9.95. Dadgummit. Yeah, I want to say he hit 10,000 and it must have reeled back a little bit or something. Cindy Brown said, oh, I'm back and you are still on. Awesome. See? That's why I do a 2-hour live. Um, so in the beginning of this video, I showed everybody this right here. If you want to go to Bonfire, there should be a link in the description. All right, you can get t-shirts and hoodies. It's got this right here on it. This right here, I I was on the phone with Critter Creek, and he is a professional in graphic design and everything. He does a lot of hand drawing and artwork, some like paintings and stuff, I believe. I've just recently started watching his videos, so I'm not fully up to speed on everything he does, but I was talking to him, and this guy, I told him what I wanted. I said, this is the name of it. I want Helping Hands Project Dreamweavers. I thought about changing that to Dreamweavers Projects, but I think we're going to leave it like this because we already got it, right? And this has my copyright intent on it. I will be copyrighting this. I have a year to do so, but so no one can take that from me. He put that on there for me. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. It says copyright David Hood 2022. But anyways, I told him what I wanted. I said I want an arrow kind of bent with the feathers and stuff hanging down, a dream catcher, and I said if you can put a buffalo, incorporate that in there somehow, that would be super awesome. Um, because I am Native American and I like that kind of, tribal stuff right there. And I just kind of gave him an idea over the phone, telling him exactly kind of how I wanted it. And then he came up with that right there and sent it to me like the next day. And I didn't have to pay anything for this. So I really want to put that out there, how much he's helped me out. He really, stands behind what I'm doing and wants to help me out so I can help others. So definitely, if you guys, if you need a logo or something made, the guy is amazing at what he does. Critter Creek Homestead, I think it is. But yeah, go check it out. He did a cartoon kind of thing of Simple Life Reclaim and the family and everything. That was pretty cool. I believe he done one of another channel. I probably shouldn't mention it just yet because it might be a surprise. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that one. But yeah, super awesome work that he does. Go check out Critter Creek. And if you could throw a little money his way or something, a little donation or something for helping me produce this right here, that would be super awesome. Or if you can't do that, just subscribe to his channel. He's another person that he's learning on the editing and all that stuff, and he's having fun with what he's doing. That's really what counts right there. He's having fun with it. So go definitely check out Critter Creek Homestead. It's actually, I think it's Critter Creek Animal Rescue is what it is, I think. Because he's wanting to start up an animal rescue. Right now, he's looking for that nice property. So if you guys know about a really good property, let's say in the Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Arkansas area, I don't know exactly where he's looking to set this up, but if you know of some good, cheap property that's a nice area, let him know. I've been on here for 2 hours and 3 minutes. So, guys, I'm going to be getting off here. I got to go see if the ground is dried up any to where hopefully I can get a log on the mill, get that milled up today, and see how many 2x6s I can get and how much siding I can get. So, I'm going to get out of here, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.